The Water Framework Directive requires ecological assessments of European coastal waters. In this study, we looked at macroalgae to assess the ecological status of a heavily impacted bay in eastern Mediterranean. Vasiliki Bay is a semi-enclosed bay at South Cyprus. It has undeveloped limestone rocky shorelines, particularly in the west, but is heavily impacted in the east. This industrialized marine area hosts the country's largest power station and cement factory, 3 ports, bathing waters in the west, and several open sea fish farm units. Pressures are mounting up along this coastline as the construction of a fuel terminal and land-based facilities to store and process the natural gas are underway. To assess the ecological status, we set up 16 stations along 10 kilometers of coast. 4 replicates of macroalgae samples were collected from each station in the summer 2012 and spring of 2013. At the laboratory, the macroalgae samples were sorted and percent coverage of each species was estimated. Later on, we applied the Ecological Evaluation Index continuous formula to assess the ecological status of all stations. Around 50 macroalgae species were identified. Areas of limited human access have diverse climax communities with perennial species and several layers of vegetation. The dominant primary producers here are Seagrass Posidonia oceanica and Cystocera species. High ecological scores were assessed at these areas. Spring assessments usually produce lower scores as opportunistic species became much more abundant. In spring, chaetomorphic green algae appeared in the eastern area following heavy dredging at nearby waters. Dictyora brown algae appeared in the western stations near a municipal wastewater treatment plant. At the eastern parts of the bay near the industry, fleshy and bushy opportunistic species dominate. As semi-impacted areas, late successional macroalgae species coexist with opportunists. The Ecological Evaluation Index clearly succeeds in detecting the effects of human pressures, as well as the effect of seasonality. Macroalgae form robust indicators for assessing the ecological quality of coastal waters. They also sustain magnificent creatures,